I am now approaching my 12th birthday after my birth from above. And we are told we will not return to the kingdom of God, raised to the level of God the Father, until we are born from above. And birth from above and resurrection coincide. Man awakens within his skull, and he comes out of that skull to find the infant wrapped in swaddling clothes. And the witnesses, the three witnesses present to the event, he is unseen by the witnesses because he is spirit. He is God. It is God being born. Born this time not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. So God is giving birth to himself, raising himself to higher levels of his own being. So all the sons come down into this world, and they go back after they have completed the journey, and they can't get back until they are born from above, as told us in the 3rd chapter of John. You, a master of Israel, and you do not know, unless you are born from above, you cannot enter the kingdom of God. And do you not know, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up? And that is a literal fact. In the same serpentine manner, you are lifted up. And when you take off the garment after these experiences, and they are four mighty, peculiar, supernatural experiences, after the four, you will remain, and you will tell it until that moment in time when you depart. Not restored anymore to life, not restored. You are now in the kingdom, clothed in your garment of glory. You are sheer power, sheer wisdom, and yet all guided and motivated by love, for God is love. You do not exercise that power in any manner save motivated by love. You do not exercise your divine wisdom in any way save by love. For love embraced you before the whole thing started. There is no transforming power in death, as we call death here. None. About 15 or 20 years ago in Barbados, my wife and I, that is the little family of three, my little girl, we were there for maybe 4 or 5 months. There was a couple from Trinidad. He was a major in the British Army, but working in Trinidad in some commercial venture. And he came to Barbados with his wife for a vacation. And he was all enthused about my thoughts concerning the law of God. At the same time in the hotel was an elderly gentleman who had retired. He was a professor of chemistry at one of the great universities of England. And he came out to set up some kind of a factory with local money, but with his knowledge, making soap. For we thought if we could simply produce local soap, we could save the currency we needed so badly, that was foreign currency, especially American currency and Canadian currency. If we could only produce soap out of the materials we had locally, well then that would be perfect. So he came out to set the thing going. One day, over a few cocktails, this man, Major Morrison, said to him, you know, Neville has a concept concerning the spirit world. That's how he described it. And he began to discuss certain things concerning one of my books, which I gave him, and he was reading the book. Well, the old gentleman said, I am not interested. I call myself an agnostic. In fact, I think I am really an atheist. But to soften the blow, I say I am an agnostic. Everything in my life must be proven. I am a chemist. My whole life has been devoted to chemistry, to this physical world, and I can see nothing but this physical world. I'll take your brain, your body, everything, and reduce it to simple chemicals. And so I am not interested, said the old gentleman to Major Morrison. I'm present. No offense, said he. I said, no, forget it. You're here to do a job, and undoubtedly will do a wonderful job, and give us a local factory that we can make our own soap and save foreign currency. Well, last Wednesday morning, on my return from my usual visits night after night as I'm teaching what I'm teaching you, but I'm not confined to this, for the world does not end where our senses cease to register. When a man dies, as we call him die, he doesn't cease to be. He is solidly real, restored in a body just like this, only he is young. He is about 20. He drops off at 90. He finds himself 20, restored to life. But he hasn't changed one iota. His ideas that were present before he died are his ideas after, whatever they were. If he was stupid here, he's just as stupid there. If he was a thief here, he's a thief there. Whatever he is it there. Well, here on my way back on Wednesday morning, I encountered these two, Sir Archibald Cooke, who was the other gentleman, and the professor. And Archie is saying to this man, the professor, there's going to be a demonstration tonight on television. And he called it telly, for in England they always speak of it as the telly. There's going to be a demonstration tonight on the telly, a scientific demonstration. Well, that would interest the old man, scientific. But then the old gentleman discovered what he meant by scientific was a psychical demonstration, to demonstrate the reality of psychism, like extrasensory perception and all kinds of things concerning the psychic world. Well, the old man turned, as he would, sour. It meant nothing to him. But here is Archie, the same Archie. He is all completely, I would say, moved emotionally because it's coming on tonight. And that's exactly what he always wanted. While he was here, though a very able accountant, he had a big business in Barbados, taking care of all the big businesses and closing their books for them and advising them. But he was vitally interested in psychism. He was a very devout Methodist, in spite of the fact that he smoked. He was a chain smoker, which the Methodists abhor, and he could drink anyone under the table. Still, he called himself a devout Christian and a good Methodist. The other one was the atheist or the agnostic. But they had not changed one bit. One is still interested in these things and the other is not. One is still the scientist and they don't even know that they have departed this section of time. They do not know because no one dies. God is the God of the living and nothing dies. Because it doesn't die, how can you tell a man when you're looking at him and you're talking to him, don't you know I went to your funeral? He'll laugh at you. What funeral? Well, I went to your funeral. I saw them put you down into the little grave. And he starts to laugh at you as though you're insane. Because he knows he is not dead. But he doesn't know that he went through the so-called gate that we on this side of the veil call death.